Yeah, I know. I'm late. Again. Well, there we have it. Planet Coaster 2 has just been announced. The original Planet Coaster is easily one of the best games created, and it released all the way back in 2016. 8 years later, and Frontier seems to create a game that looks just as good, if not even better than the original. And from the trailer, it looks incredible.
Then I get it.
When I walk outside with my head in the clouds, everywhere I go, I keep singing out. Good day. I'm gonna sing all my blues away. Everything's alright when I got you by my side. It's gonna be a good day. Sing it! Everything's alright when I got you by my side. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day.
As the legendary John Wardley said, wow. Now, let's talk more in depth about what we know so far. So from the image that you can see on the screen, seems to be a new coaster type, the B&M Surf Coaster. Now in Planet Coaster 1, if you wanted to make a surf coaster, you'd have to use the F25 model and put stand-up trains on it. However, this was not realistic at all. So I'm glad to see that there's been an upgrade and we've got some B&M Surf Coaster goodness. So we can finally get a pipeline recreation. Also from the trailer you can see water slides. This is a brand new feature as part of the Make a Splash branding that Planet Coaster 2 have gone with. And yeah, these look really good. I don't know how they're going to be built using the current coaster builder. I'll get onto the coaster builder later. But I do like the whole water park theme. It fits really nicely since it was a lot harder to build water parks than the original Planet Coaster. So yeah, seeing water parks in Planet Coaster 2 seems fantastic. It'll be a very good idea. There also seems to be an upgrade with the way hotels are built. Seems like guests can now actually go inside of them, and you can customise rooms inside and out. The original way of building hotels was nowhere near as good. I mean, this hotel here, it looks absolutely stunning, but on the inside, nah, it looks awful. And there's another thing here, which is purely speculation at the moment, but we really do hope will happen. So in the original Planet Coaster 1 you were never able to build a ride with a switch track, a drop track or a swing launch, so hopefully now we get switch tracks, drop tracks, which hopefully does mean swing launches if we have a switch track, but it would be awesome to see that happen, especially with being 8 years since the original game. It would be really cool to finally have something like Chitatis or Pantheon in this Planet Coaster Park, make it more realistic. So the original Planet Coaster, as I previously mentioned, released in 2016, and Frontier have had 8 years to perfect it. However, I still have some issues with the game, so here are a few things I'd love to see fixed in Planet Coaster 2. The first thing I'd like to see fixed is the flat rides. Planet Coaster 1's flat rides are okay, however they're just very unrealistic. I mean, why do you need all of the space around the outside of a flat ride? In real life, you really don't have that. The edge of the flat ride is where the path starts. And speaking of paths, I'd love to see an upgrade to the path system, as you can only build a decent plaza using a square path, as circular paths don't work. They also have this really awkward curve to the outside of them, and if you remove that you have these awkward grass patches in the middle. It just doesn't look very realistic either. As I mentioned, realism is a big part of me in Planet Coaster, as you've seen in Ghost Town or Flight of the Dragon. Another thing I'd like to see upgraded are the transport rides. Yes, the Sky Ride and Monorail work fine, however, there are some other transport rides I'd love to see fixed. I don't know how, but log flumes somehow class as transport? Strange. And I'd love to see that fixed as well. I mean, look at how a log flume works. You have that awkward little bump before you go down the drop. I mean, I really don't understand that. Another style of ride I'd love to see fixed are River Rapids. River Rapids now have this awkward station which is controlled by a conveyor belt, whereas I'd love to see the curved station like modern River Rapids have. Speaking of stations, coaster stations need a major upgrade from the original, as they're not realistic whatsoever. I mean, why would the air gates go that far back? They really don't. And also, the control panel that the operator stands at really needs an upgrade, as most roller coasters don't have the exact same control panel. Speaking of coaster stations again, throughputs. Why does it take so long for a Planet Coaster train to be released? And then they wait until all the guests have left the platform before opening the gates, and all the restraints come down at the same time. So yeah, it's not very realistic at all. Another thing I'd love to see fixed is the Planet Coaster smoothing system. It's really hard now to make smooth rides in Planet Coaster. Rides look smooth when you've smoothed them out, and even if you use the 1 meter method, that's the only way now, using mods, to create smooth rides. And even on the POVs still, they're really jittery. There has been, as we're aware, there has been an upgrade in the ride cam. However, I'd love to see a better smoothing system and a better coaster builder in general. But the coaster builder in the first game is really good, but it would be nice for an upgrade. Another thing I'd love to see is breakdowns. Rides break down on the brake run or in the station on Planet Coaster 1, which yet again is not realistic. I'd love to see them have rides stop on lift hills or even valley. It would be really interesting to see how a ride gets evacuated, and also make it harder to try and build some evacuation points. The final thing I'd love to see fixed, which from the trailer it doesn't seem to have been fixed, it's something that really annoys me, is the dive coaster. In the original Planet Coaster, the B&M dive coaster automatically had 3 rows of 10 seats across, and all the trains were floorless, which didn't leave much variety. Nowadays, B&M dive coasters can have narrow track, smaller trains, smaller length trains, trains with floors, so I'd love to see the options where you could change the variety of train and track on B&M dive coasters. The thing that annoys me the most, though, is the holding brake. Why does the train stop so far round? And why is it so rounded? If you look at a photo of Oblivion from the side, it's a really, really narrow turning radius before it drops, whereas on Planet Coaster it's that really awkward round curve, and it doesn't even pull out to 90 degrees. So yeah, it's something I'd love to see fixed, but from the trailer it does not seem to be, unfortunately. So from the trailer and promotional images, Planet Coaster 2 does look very promising, and I'm hoping that Frontier have created an absolute masterpiece, learning from the mistakes of the original. So what do you think about Planet Coaster 2? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.